So, welcome back. We're on page 7. My apologies in advance. My dogs are being annoying because there's people outside. Heaven forbid. We're on page 7 now. There's a ton of writing on here, and I just put up my regular key that I wrote on paper because I think it's just easier to read. So, I'm going to kind of make marks like in yellow or orange so you can hopefully follow along where I am. And of course, if you have questions, ask any one of us and we can help you. So we did probability on the first page, but now we're doing conditional probability. It's a probability of an event given. When you see the word given, that means you're doing something a little bit different. A lot of times you'll see the word given, but sometimes they also use the word if. In real life, that happens more. Kind of like, what's the probability we have a snow day? What's the probability we have a snow day if we have a blizzard? That can change things. And there they go. They say hi. The one thing that I'd like you to take notice of, biggest difference is we're changing the denominator. When you have given, the denominator isn't the most total. It is the total of the given column's row. And that sounds crazy. So let's go through this. So we'll take this one step at a time. So here's our question. We're still using the asthma and the household member that smokes. So these numbers are all the same numbers. Let me clear this, clear out all my junk. So letter G says, what is the probability a randomly selected student has a household member that smokes given that the student has asthma? So before we start this, I wrote it out in words, probability smokes given asthma. But then there's a little bit of a new notation. It's not an and or an or. If you see a vertical line, that means given. So we're looking for the probability someone smokes, but because it's a given, our total row or our total number comes from the asthma row. So where's asthma? Here's asthma. So that means we're really just zooming in right here on this. Everything else for this problem goes away. So you can see, you don't have to write this, but I wrote here the number that smokes and the total in the asthma row. So 113 smokes, that's in this row. We're not looking at anything else. And then I did 113 divided by 183 and I got 0.617. Oh, I like having this. I can just clear my whole screen and start over. Letter H. And this given stuff, it's going to take some time, especially if you miss the lesson. What is the probability a randomly selected student has a household member that smokes? So we're still doing smokes, given the student does not have asthma. So see, I have PS given, not A. So instead of the asthma row, I'm looking at this information. Everything else goes away. So the smoke number is 282. That's where that is. And the total in this row is 755. So I did 282 divided by 755, and I got 0.374. Now, can I fit this whole thing? All right. Well, I tried to make it smaller, and it wouldn't let me do it. So letter I. What is the probability that a randomly selected student has asthma given the student has a household member that smokes? So take a look what I wrote. Probability of asthma given smokes. So now our total comes from smoke. So here's smokes. Whoops. So this is where we're getting our information now. So we've got 282. Wait a second. Oh, wrong one. Not that one. Student indicates he or she has asthma is this one. 113 divided by 395. And that's what I put here. Okay, and letter J, I'll do this one because the dog's right in the other room. What is the probability that a randomly selected student has asthma given the student does not have a household member that smokes? So now we're going to look under the not smokes category. Pause the video, try it, and well, you can see your answer. I'll highlight the column that I'm using. So we're looking for a student who has asthma, given that they are in a household that doesn't smoke. That's where that came from. I'm all over the place. And here's where I got my answer. And then the last thing, I was writing the notation all throughout.